Long Live the Kings is committed to restoring wild salmon and steelhead and supporting sustainable fishing in the Pacific Northwest. We were founded in 1986 by a group of salmon enthusiasts alarmed by declines in wild salmon runs. Convinced of the long-term need for habitat protection and restoration and the role of salmon as an icon to drive stewardship in the region, LLTK's founders were also intrigued by the potential for linking improved hatchery, harvest, and habitat management to address salmon recovery. LLTK helps those who make decisions about salmon and steelhead to be successful. We pursue projects and partnerships that compel coordinated, scientifically credible, and transparent changes to harvest, hatchery, and habitat management to protect and restore wild fish and support sustainable fishing. We bring innovative tools and a track record of success to each of our projects. We work with others to rebuild wild salmon and steelhead populations in some of the region's most urbanized and undisturbed areas. We provide fishing opportunities without impacting threatened or endangered wild fish, and we work to increase our understanding of what controls salmon and steelhead survival. We seek out and engage partners who bring unique skills to help solve environmental problems, and then we create the funding and working environment to make them successful. Leverage is a key concept supporting our success, and we leverage skills and resources inside and outside the organization. Our board is made up of individuals with accomplished backgrounds and experience in the private and public sectors, and a collective experience in management, communications, policy, and science. Our staff has a similar background and expertise, and we regularly identify and work with partners to achieve lasting results. LLTK has always been guided by desired outcomes and informed by science. What makes us uniquely effective is our ability to identify key questions in salmon management that are not being addressed and facilitate the incorporation of new approaches to advance our mission. We accomplish this by taking action, implementing new, innovative methods for wild fish recovery in rivers, by organizing and supporting others, convening scientists from diverse backgrounds and perspectives to answer key questions and solve difficult problems, and by training, bringing people and organizations together with proven methods to solve previously ignored or difficult challenges in resource management. LLTK regularly tracks success of our programs and projects using clearly articulated objectives and metrics that we report to our board of directors, grantors, and in our annual report. Metrics for LLTK include numbers of fish returning to spawn in wild rivers, numbers of fish caught in legal and sustainable fisheries, length of stream improvements, amount of money raised, outcomes from critical research efforts, and numbers of management recommendations made and implemented. Because LLTK has been engaged in reform and improved management of hatcheries throughout the Pacific, some people may not know that we're also very active in broader issues related to the ecology and management of wild fish populations and their marine and freshwater habitat. For example, LLTK is the co-lead for the Salish Sea Marine Survival Project, a long-term joint U.S. and Canadian research effort to understand why salmon and steelhead are suffering from poor survival in our shared marine waters. This project leverages expertise from academia, tribes and First Nations, government, and NGOs to gain critical basic understanding about fish and their changing ecosystem. LLTK facilitated 2 regional reviews of the Northwest Extensive Hatchery System, scientifically rethinking how these hatcheries might be used to recover wild salmon and support sustainable fisheries. Our work led to over 1,000 specific recommendations to change or improve hatchery practices and programs in the region, and nearly half of these recommendations have been implemented to date. LLTK also worked with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and other partners to recover wild salmon and steelhead runs in Hood Canal, a relatively pristine area of Puget Sound, increasing some naturally spawning populations by over 500%. LLTK has worked through several challenges to emerge a stronger and more influential organization. The first challenge has been related to the nature of the resource. Salmon and steelhead range from mountain streams to the high seas and back, and their ecosystem and related human management must be healthy throughout. Dams in the upper watershed, pollution, development, and overfishing all provide challenges to our recovery effort. Finally, ups and downs in the economy and reductions in public funds affect our ability to operate at our organization's most effective level. LLTK would use added resources for 3 specific tasks. We would bolster our field efforts to recover wild fish. We would support our work with partners to understand what controls survival of salmon and steelhead and how we might improve it in U.S. and Canadian waters. Also, we would work to educate the public and stakeholders to build consensus around efforts to recover and protect wild fish populations and support sustainable fishing for current and future generations. LLTK has become an effective and recognized champion for salmon and steelhead and their ecosystems, working with government and non-government partners to build strong coalitions and identify needed actions. But constraints on public funding have put many elements of this work at risk. New private support would allow LLTK to continue restoring habitat, building wild stocks, and providing sustainable fishing opportunities. It also would allow us to significantly increase our ability to educate and involve those with management authority, stakeholders, and the interested public in the important work to protect a regional, national, and international resource and symbol of hope for the future.